I'm going for a swim because I want to win a swimming competition. I'll be reprimanded if I don't go. I want to be considered to be a good swimmer by my coach because I enjoy swimming. These are all motivations to go for a swim, but they're not equally powerful in driving our actions and performance. So today we'll look at the scale of motivation. The scale of motivation ranges from intrinsic motivation, the most powerful form of motivation, to extrinsic motivation, to not being motivated at all, which is referred to as amotivation. Intrinsic motivation comes from within. You do an activity because you find it inherently interesting, satisfying. You are interested in it. You enjoy doing it. Like me going for a swim because I enjoy swimming. And this is the most powerful type of motivation because it comes from within. Extrinsic motivation comes from external factors such as rewards or punishment. And Richard Ryan and Edward Deci of the University of Rochester have actually stated that there are different types of extrinsic motivators, and those have varying degrees of autonomy and motivation. And as a general rule of thumb, the more autonomy we have, the more powerful the motivation. So let's look at different flavors of extrinsic motivation. Integration. This is the most powerful type of extrinsic motivation because it is linked to your sense of self, your identity. For example, going for a swim because you love that feeling of pushing yourself, which is part of your identity of self-improvement. Identification. This type of motivation involves you doing something because it aligns with your values and beliefs. For example, going for a swim because you find it important to improve your cardiovascular fitness. Interjection. This type of motivation involves you doing something because you want to feel good about yourself or avoid feeling guilty. Like you going for a swim because you want to fit in your pants that are currently just a little bit too tight, or you wanting to get that appreciation from your swimming coach. External regulation. This is the least powerful form of extrinsic motivation, and you're doing something to avoid punishment or earn a reward, like going for a swim because you want to win a swimming competition, or going for a swim because you don't want to be reprimanded. At the end of the scale, we have amotivation. This is a lack of motivation and interest in an activity. What is the link between motivation, engagement, and organizational performance? Well, it turns out that people are most engaged when they are intrinsically motivated or when they have integrated regulation. So that also leads to the best performance. And be aware that you're not really changing an intrinsic motivator by an extrinsic one. Like I did the other month when I took up swimming because I just love the feeling of being in the water. And I noticed that after a couple of times, I actually started to count laps and suddenly felt demotivated. Turns out I'd replaced the perfect intrinsic motivator for an extrinsic motivator, not so successful. So that's when I started going back to swimming just because I love the feeling of being in the water. And I noticed that my motivation quickly returned and that my performance even improved. The experiment. Next time you find yourself struggling to do a task, find out and identify what the source of motivation is you have in doing it. Is it extrinsic or intrinsic? And in case it is extrinsic, could you perhaps find an intrinsic motivator? And in case it's not really linked to your intrinsic motivation, can you perhaps find a more powerful extrinsic motivator that moves and boosts your performance? Good luck tapping into a more powerful source of motivation.